Hello, it's me again, and what I'm going to do is continue the journey through the Megaminx series, a crazy Megaminx series, with Uranus. So, as mentioned before with the cubes, Uranus is kind of a new entity compared to Jupiter and Saturn. They're both outer rim planets, but these are more the ice giants. And the question was always, how did these guys form, and why do they look a little bit different than Saturn and Jupiter? They're both hydrogen and helium mostly. These guys have some of that, but they have a lot of dust and a lot of ice that's there. This and Neptune, actually. And the thinking is that what happens is that they all started out as very large cores that kept accreting more and more mass based on the protostar that was the nebula that was forming, that was going to form our sun. And what happened is that Neptune and Uranus was probably closer in orbit to the sun than they are now, but the effects of Jupiter blasted it out there so that it actually took a place further away from that. So there you have it. Anyway, the basic organization of this is you've got four banded sides. You've got a banded side over here, in my case the white and the blue, and bandaged at the silver and the light blue. So when approaching this puzzle, there was actually two possible ways that I could have approached this. One is very similar to what we did with Mars, Earth, Mercury, and Venus, where we basically solve it, do the Megaminx style, solve our inner corners, our inner edges rather, and do the inner corners last, putting the shell in. We did it very differently with Jupiter because Jupiter had such limited numbers of banded sides that we kind of reduced it to a Megaminx and solved it that way, sort of tripping around the edge. And of course Saturn was its own thing as well. So the question that I had with this starting off is, well, how is it best to do this? Should I do it kind of like the inner planets, where I solve the outer shell, then put the inner triangles in? I'm certainly able to do that because in order to do that algorithm that we were mentioning, you have to have on the top something that's non-bandaged like this, then facing you something that's bandaged, and then facing you something that's also bandaged. And you could coordinate it like that. So it certainly is possible. You're just very limited with exactly how much of that you can do and how much positioning you can do. Or should we just do it like Jupiter? Reduce it basically to a Megaminx by putting in all the corners in and see if we have ways of tripping over some of the non-banded sides. Now I will tell you, I've solved it both ways. I've done it both ways. So it's possible to do it both. But the way that I've been taking to do it is basically by reducing it to a Megaminx, putting all of the corners in and the edges in, both inner and outer in, and then sort of tripping our way around the bandaged areas. So that's how I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do a demonstration on how to solve it like that. Now, if there's any specific requests to do it with the corners last, inner corners last method, let me know and I will do that. But otherwise, I'm just going to show you how I attack Uranus using that method. So, without any further ado, let's start our scrambled Alakadabra Kazam. Okay, so now we have a scrambled puzzle. So the approach of this is going to be similar to, like I say, Jupiter. Now, what I was doing before is putting in the inner star. And I would do that if I wanted to kind of make use of the fact that I've got some banded sides that's not going to move at all, especially if that's the majority of the sides that I have. As it's not, I don't know that we really need to do that because I'm going to start reducing things by using a non-bandaged, a banded side, just like we did with Jupiter. I'm going to put my edges in, then my corners in. But what we have to bear in mind is that there's a little bit of trouble that could potentially happen with the juxtaposition of two banded sides. In other words, as I'm solving it like a Megaminx, there's going to be a little bit of a problem dealing with these bandaged areas. So although I might not put in my entire star, I don't think you necessarily need to do that. What I think we should put in is we should at least put in the white one here and the blue one here. And the same thing here, the silver one here and the blue one over here. That's going to serve us much better later on. And as a matter of fact, we're probably going to want to keep our inners and outers here as well. So I'm just going to do that first. Put this in here. And let's find... And it's pretty simple doing it at this point because, we don't care about any other movements. and then move this in here. Okay. So I've got this in, I've got this in, and it's going to be pretty clear as to why we're doing that later. And same thing over here. We'll put in the light blue one over here. And we'll put in a silver one over here. And I'm only doing it at this point because it's just easy for me to do. I'm not messing anything else up that's of any significance. Okay, once I've done that, what it might be useful to do is I'm going to start putting in edges over here. Now, this is the time-consuming part, just like if I were to fill in the outer shell. You know, it's just a lot easier to do. So just to kind of walk through some of that, this is silver and yellow. So I'm going to try to find a yellow one over here. So here's one over here that I can maybe try to use. Over here, here, turn, turn. So this will come here, light blue to here, so I need to find the light blue one. There's one right over here that I can use, and I want to slide that into here. So turn it here, and I'm just basically positioning this so that I can do just that. This comes here, this comes here. I need to find another yellow one here. And turn this here. Now I can't turn it in from here because it's bandaged. So if I want to move this into here, I'm just going to move it from this side. Turn, turn, turn. Okay. So this comes here. This, well, we're not going to move this white one as of yet, so I'm just going to let that lay. All right, so now all these are in. Now, as long as I have the blue one here, then that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that too much. But in any case, this red one is going to go to a red outer, so I can move that over here. Pink, oh, how about right over here? And beige, there's a couple of beiges here. And move that in like so. Okay. And then move it again. So that moves these into position. All right, now I'm going to keep going around. 1, 2. Okay. Now we're cooking. Okay, now I find a wayward red. And that comes over here. And now a white that I could use. Well, it might actually be this one, so I'm not going to worry about this as of yet, but let's turn these white ones over again. Kind of do that same technique that we were talking about. So white one here, white one here. And a white one here. So turn it, and there you have it. Now eventually this is going to make its way over here, but we've got ways of doing that. So I'm not going to worry about that yet. All right. And finally, now we'll just kind of scan to see if everything is in. These are all in. These are all in. These are all in. Ah, this isn't in. So this gets moved up. So somewhere there's a wayward purple. Right over here. So this may be the last step. And move this up here. So this is going to go over here, but I need to cycle all of the oranges around. So let's just start moving all of our oranges in. Oop. I'm going to put an orange in here actually, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this will help that out. There's no way to get around this. This has to be white. I'm not going to be able to put an orange, so I turn this over here. So all that's in. Now you may say, well, what am I going to do about this? Well, we're going to have to start stacking the deck with whites again. So let's do that. I should be too far behind here. Yeah, okay. Now once I've done that, this can be moved back into here. So now this is good. So put this where there's a blue, an errant blue. Okay, this goes here, this goes to, now we have a purple, but the purple is going to be set up in a very funny place, like over here. So it's going to be kind of difficult to move this out without destroying some of these guys here. I'm actually wondering if I can move the purple up here so I can mitigate some of that damage. So now that I have that, I can move this out like so. So at least I didn't destroy these guys yet. And then I'm just going to kind of move this out. And put this purple in over here. And we'll put another white one in here. Or better yet, a green one. So, move this like so. Okay, so these are in. This white will move over here. And I'm just going to try to fill this up with greens and see how that works. Like so. And one more green. So basically, if I run into trouble like that, I'll just fill this with green so that I can move each one. And that's going to happen when you're down to the last few. And this has to be moved in through here. So this goes bang. So we've got all of these in. We still have this guy over here. So this is going to be probably one of our final frontiers. And I'm going to move this over to my white side because I think this blue is going to take position over here. Well, everything is in place here, so maybe we should just do it from this perspective. And put in the purple one. Alright, so that's good. This will come here, this will come here, this will come... I need a blue. Why not this one? And I need another blue. Okay, now that I have that, it's exactly the same concept. And, wrong way, and turn. Okay, so how are we doing? Looks like we probably have them all in. These are all good, these are all good, these are all good, 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 good. So we just had to shift things a little bit here.